This week on Blockbusted, we talk about NYCC and the news involving that. We talk about some comment section wars and some confusing time travel theories. Hey, Houston! Whoa, who are you? Dude, I'm you. Are you from the future? Yeah, I'm you, but from like 20 minutes from now. Listen, you've got to edit out that cough that you had at the end of the news segment, like 20 minutes in. Oh, okay, I will. So, Hitchcock, this week, Screen Junkies, you know them, right?
Yeah.
They do honest trailers.
Sure.
They released this video called 9 Movies Destined to be Classics, right?
Okay.
And essentially, they were like, okay, so here's the movies that are going to be classics. And I had 2 people there, and they just talked about some movies that would be classics. Not like these are the only ones, but you know. So, a video like that is bound to spark controversy in the comments, right? Because people go, this movie's going to be a classic. And then it's got, of course, a bunch of other naysayers going, shut up, no. So, I got involved in 3 comment wars in this comment section over, like, several days. Maybe not several days, several hours, that's for sure.
Several hours, you're sitting on
dedicated.
When's he gonna reply?
Typing, yeah, exactly, refreshing the page over and over. The first debate that I got involved in, I'm having to scroll through this comment section.
Fantastic debate topic, man.
Fantastic debate topic. The first one I posted about this on Twitter to try to get some backup, right? Yeah. To get some people to come and nail this guy. Okay, so this guy, he's called The Witness. He's called The Witness on YouTube, and he says, BVS is like the Shawshank Redemption. It will take time for people to realize it's a classic.
This guy's a nerd. He's such the typical nerd. I mean, just look at that profile
pic. I laughed out loud. This guy is comparing Shawshank Redemption, one of the greatest films of all time. He's comparing Batman v Superman to Shawshank Redemption. A film about 2 heroes punching each other to that. So, of course, you know, several of the people are commenting saying, XD, yeah, right. Ha! Good joke. Tell it
funny,
again.
Man.
Right.
And he's like, what? No, I was serious, man. Come on.
Someone says,
here. I need some help.
Who could forget that bit in Shawshank Redemption when Andy Dufresne convinced Ellis Redding? Who's that?
I don't know. I've never seen this movie.
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't remember what the character's name is.
You tell me, son.
When Andy Dufresne convinced Ellis Redding to sneak stuff into the prison by revealing that their mothers had the same name. Or the scary bit when those prisoners forced Andy to pee in a jar. So, then some people are saying, BBS is trash. You're an idiot. It didn't take any time for people to realize Shawshank was great. It won a ton of awards. So, blah, 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 you know. Someone says, blah, blah, blah. Sure, just like the Star Wars prequels will be remembered fondly. Oh, wait. Yeah. This is great. He goes, you wouldn't understand. You are not capable of fourth-order partial deterministic thought processing, and it's okay for you to have an average mind. You were probably, and he says to other people, you were probably the type of people who thought Einstein's theories were trash. And then he goes, you know, people, he goes, people said Nikola Tesla was wrong, right? But he invented the electricity stuff or whatever. And then there's another dude who says, there will come a time when superhero movies will lose its appeal, and then people will see BVS for what it truly is, a timeless masterpiece. A timeless masterpiece. You hear that, Hitchcock?
Timeless.
Yeah. So, of course, I said, ha, 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 ha,
ha, of course. In typical Houston fashion, he
and I said, you just compared a film about 2 superheroes punching each other to one of the best films of all time. Oh, so then after that, there's from the same guy who said it's a timeless masterpiece. This is off the rails, I'm telling you. The guy who said who said it will be a timeless masterpiece, he did the little, you know, inequality symbol, right, to show one's better than the other.
Okay.
And he says BVS better than Dark Knight, right? I'm going through. Oh, he says Civil War plot was just on the surface level. Everything was spoon-fed to the viewer. BVS plot was on a symbol level. It's like a game of chess. You need to understand the motivations of all the characters. They just don't say it out loud like in Marvel movies. And I said, okay, I'll be fair here, right? BVS definitely has bigger goals and ideals and vision than Civil War, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
It wants to be something great,
sure.
And I admire that. Okay,
definitely.
It definitely wants to be something deep, but the problem is, it's not.
Nowhere near.
It's close, but it didn't make it. So you can't credit something for something it almost was.
Yeah.
The guy says it's like explaining different differential equations or nonlinear regressions to a child. He's just not going to get it. But so that's the first war I was in, okay?
Oh, gosh.
I am not going to drag
There's
out
more.
these other two because
I thought that was like
we need to get
three
into
of
the
them
episode
combined
here.
right
I just broke
there.
my table. We need to get in the episode here. But someone said, no one mentioned the Avengers? I still haven't had an experience as good as watching that for the first time. Of course, I upvoted that. Yes, you're right. Several people said it's pretty much cinematic history. No one believed the film could be done until it was, and the execution was nearly perfect. Yes. Then, of course, there's tons of people saying Avengers is Disney trash. Hate to sound like a film snob, but it sounds like you obviously haven't seen many movies. And
Film snob?
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Someone said, wow, you have poor taste in movies if Avengers was seriously that good for you. I get the same feeling when I watched it as I did with Transformers. Okay, that's sad. Blah, blah, blah. I said, heck yeah, say what you will about the MCU, but everyone has seen the Avengers and it's destined to be a classic summer blockbuster like Back to the Future or Jaws.
Yeah.
Someone said, the movie sucks. Get over it, blockbuster fanboy. Someone said, I will guess that's the only film you've ever seen. And I said, wow, you make some valid points. But so I'm talking about this, and I'm saying how, look, Avengers, I'm not saying Avengers is a great film in the grand scheme of things. But I am saying it's a great blockbuster as what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just as Back to the Future and Jaws don't have some sort of deep meaning and they don't cure cancer, this doesn't either. But it's a well-made blockbuster and it's a good time at the movies, and it's a lot better than every other blockbuster out there.
Yeah.
You know, people always attack the middle of the movie, right? When they're on the helicarrier. Shut up, okay? Because the middle of the movie is about building this team, establishing the character dynamics, and giving them all a reason to be on this team or not be on the team before we get into the battle stuff. Exactly. It's not like, oh my gosh. I've got so much more to say. I just can't ramble anymore, and my thoughts aren't organized right now. But
basically, don't pick a fight with Houston on YouTube.
Don't pick a fight with unreasonable people on YouTube because they will never sway. Then the guy goes on and says Guardians of the Galaxy is worse. That was the third fight I was in. Was someone said Guardians of the Galaxy is a steaming pile of wet dog diarrhea. And I said, are you freaking serious?
Well done.
So we got in a huge fight about that and whatever, and he was like, the Guardians of the Galaxy has no tension, it's all jokes. I mean, when the bad guy's about to destroy the world and a dance-off is how they resolve it, you know it must be for kids. And I'm like, are you kidding? Because it's a comedy, and that's accurate to Peter Quill's character, right? Like, Peter Quill would do something like that. And we've established his character as someone who would do something like that, so it makes sense. I mean, of course, I said, you know, there are much worse films than Guardians of the Galaxy.
And then he went on for another 5 hours.
Yes, okay, I'm shutting up now. I'm shutting up. Hitchcock, what kind of news did we have this week? What kind of news?
Oh, gosh, that was good.
My Lord.
That was good.
I'm already done, I think.
Yeah, we should just end there. Let's just stop, you know? Mm-hmm. We're done. Click off. There we go.
How long have we been going? How long was that?
12 minutes.
Oh my God! Usually we're done with news by now.
Exactly.
I may have to cut some of that. Good Lord. All right.
Oh gosh. News. Let's jump into news.
Hitchcock. This week, the Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales trailer was released.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I like it. Yeah? I'm pumped. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. So cool.
I freaking do too.
You know? The music and everything.
Yes.
And pirates, man. Let's do it.
I just rewatched Curse of the Black Pearl last week.
Oh,
and boy, is it good. It's really good. And also,
without a doubt.
Dead Man's Chest and At World's End are crap. But On Stranger Tides.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, right? I almost said On Stranger Things. On Stranger Tides is
about
quite
Stranger
good.
Things.
I think On Stranger Tides is one of the most underrated out of all of them.
Yeah. Talk about Stranger Things. In my literature class today, I was sitting there, and we were talking about different kind of plots, and one of the plots she put up on the board was man versus monster. And so my mind immediately went to Stranger Things, and so I was taking notes. I started to write the man versus monster, but halfway through I realized I was writing man versus Stranger Things. Because I'm like, oh gosh. True.
That sounds like a fun conversation. I like talking about heroes, myth, and stuff. Yeah,
it's great. Totally.
What's up, this Pirates of the Caribbean trailer? Yeah. Looks pretty good.
It does.
Javier Bardem is the villain. He was the villain in Skyfall, and boy, is he good in that.
I still need to see that. Goodness.
You do. Good Lord, Hitchcock. Good
Lord.
Lord.
What am I doing with my life?
But he looks like some sort of zombie pirate guy, right? It's pretty good.
Some dude with some very bad teeth.
Looks like maybe this will be a darker movie. Probably not. It'll probably still be a comedy.
I'm looking
forward to comedies. You know. So yeah.
It'll be good.
You know what? That is something I really don't like normal comedies. You know, like just these.
Boring, right?
Boring comedies. But I like comedies within other films, right? Like Guardians of the Galaxy is a comedy, but it's a sci-fi comedy.
Exactly.
You know, sci-fi superhero comedy.
Totally.
Same with like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's also comedy stuff. So it's pretty good.
It's gonna be good. Can't wait.
Let's see. Also this week, The Wolverine 3, which is coming out in March, was revealed to be titled Logan. As in, you know, his name is Logan. If you didn't know that, guys. If you didn't know, his name is Logan.
Like
and
my
the poster features like a small girl holding his hand, we assume. No.
It's very nice, dude.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty good, right?
I'm this one as well. You know, even though it's rated R, I still really want to see it. You know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really good. I have a good feeling about it. You know.
I hope so. I hope it's a good send-off, you know?
Yes.
They showed some stills of Professor X, and he's, like, old as frick. Like,
seriously,
really
man.
old.
Yeah. I was like, dude, is that him in present day? I'm like, what is this?
Uh-huh.
I'm like, no, okay, it's just him from the movie. I'm like, okay. Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Aged a bit much?
So, obviously, it's an Old Man Logan movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is a storyline I don't know a ton about, but hey.
It's cool. It's interesting, you know?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do with it, and I think...
Should be pretty good.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So...
What else we got here?
Suicide Squad this week.
Oh, that's
announced.
We're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
Red flag already. You know what's going to be a classic in 20 years? Hitchcock's Suicide Squad. That'll be a classic. People will remember that movie. It's getting an quote. Okay, air quotes here. I'm making them. People can't see, but I'm making air quotes. Extended edition with, guess how many more minutes of extra footage? 13
We got a whole
minutes.
43 more minutes, guys. Jeez.
In Batman v
13
Superman, we got
minutes.
like more than a half an hour of extra footage for an extended edition. Like, at least that warrants an extended edition. Yeah. 13 minutes. That's just deleted scenes that you could just put on a DVD. Oh my god. Like, they'll just milk this thing no matter what. I am genuinely disappointed in DC for this. Like, and Warner Brothers, I guess. That they just think they can just package up a couple deleted scenes, put them into a movie and say, "Hey, it's the extended edition and this is the one that's going to be good, you know."
I'm not even going to go see it. I'm not going to see it, okay?
No, I'm not either. I'm not wasting my crap on that.
I'm not spending another $1 on this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like 13, you don't add 13 minutes. You can't do anything with 13 minutes, you know?
Can't even.
Maybe add a few more cringe-worthy jokes, you know?
Maybe.
Maybe
add some more Killer Croc doing a funny little walk into the water.
Maybe some more Enchantress hula dancing.
Yeah, hula dancing. That could be good.
Some lessons with her. Maybe that's what.
Yeah. Maybe dumb Jared Leto laugh.
Sounds like a dying duck, dude.
So also this week, Disney announced that it was planning a live-action remake of The Lion King and Mulan, and they're looking to cast Asian actresses who look like guys, of course.
I sure hope so.
That's what you need for Mulan when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Do you like those movies?
So.
Those Disney movies?
Love The Lion King, of course.
Do you adore them with all your heart?
I mean,
like some folks do?
Nah.
Yeah,
I enjoy them. You know, I like them a lot.
Lion King is quite good. I think
Yeah.
It may be a little bit overrated, but it's quite good, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Mulan's quite good too. Yeah.
Mulan. It's a good one too. You go.
Yeah. You know what's funny though is like they're like the Lion King. This is the live action version. The Lion King doesn't have any humans in it, so it's just the CGI version is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know. So yeah.
No, it'd be interesting. I'm considering how Jungle Book turned out, I'm excited to see what they'll do with Lion King.
Yeah, same director, BTW. Yeah. So I hope they keep all the songs in. They better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more rewatchable.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Last bit of news here. Last bit of news here. New York Comic Con is going on right now.
Yeah,
and two big things came from that. One was a small War of the Planet of the Apes teaser. Although I noticed it's not of the Planet of the Apes anymore. It's for the Planet of the Apes. So that's kind of cool.
It was not always that. I always thought.
I don't know. Maybe it was. I just didn't see. I guess.
What a nerd. Gosh.
But yeah, it wasn't really a teaser with footage. But I'm still pumped.
Look cool, they look cool. Come on,
they're quite underrated movies. I saw a dude who I actually respect a lot, yourmoviesucks.com who's a YouTuber, and he was like,
name.
I can't wait for another generic, boring, no risk, Planet of the Apes movie, and I was like, what? Like,
oh no,
I genuinely think they're quite good.
Hello.
I think they've got
You just broke up there.
I broke up there.
Yeah.
I broke up there. Oh, Lord. Well, probably won't cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Very nice.
They're quite good.
They are. I'm excited. I'm excited for war.
All right, so Hitchcock, what are we talking about? Hang on, I gotta go back and fix something real quick.
Hello? Houston? Hello?
All right, I'm back.
Hey,
sorry.
There you are.
I had to just go and tell myself to cut out that little cough there, because that was a little bit, I don't know. It's a little bit unbearable, right? When it comes down to it.
Okay, then.
So with that in mind, what's our episode about this week, right?
Well, as some of you, as those long listeners of Blockbusted Pod may know, that a while back ago we did a time travel episode, and
yes,
it didn't make the iTunes, it didn't make it to the pros.
It got deleted by accident.
Yeah, or it just didn't make it to iTunes, and so we decided we got some time travel stuff this week, so let's do a bloody time travel episode. It's gonna be good. So we're talking about time travel. I've nothing written down. I'm just winging this, and it'll probably be you talking because you're the time travel nerd, So,
I am the time travel nerd. Fun fact: I once thought about starting a channel called Time Travel Geek. Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
So
nice. How do we
maybe
want to
we'll talk about this real quick. We got 2 time travel shows.
We did
pilots this week. We got Timeless, which is a new NBC show, and The Flash came back this week. What did you think of Timeless to begin with? It's this, for those who don't know, it's this new NBC show. It's like basically people are trying to destroy history and whatever, so these people have to go back and like save history and stuff. And maybe it gets into like some alternate history stuff, right? So
very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting,
It is.
It as it started out, it was really just rushed. No development. And
I was like, we're like 2 minutes in, and
this is already happening. Like, what even? Like, you got this time travel. He's already gone, and it's just very very rushed.
Yeah.
And acting wasn't all that great. But as it went on, you got some more development. You got some more explaining, and it turned out to be pretty all right.
Well, and like every pilot is not great. Every pilot, you have to let a show develop.
Sure.
And people get into the roles of their characters and start kind of developing them a bit.
I think I can see this being pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's got some potential.
To see how it goes. Yeah.
I do feel like the whole thing feels a little bit generic.
Sure.
Like it needs a little bit of a flavor.
Yeah, that's one thing I did notice. Is the time travel was just like, I go back here, you can't go back there. It was just very. Basic time.
There's
travel,
nothing unique about. Like it seems like something I would write in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Because with stuff like The Flash, there's a very specific kind of unique
Yeah.
way they time travel, and that's like
Definitely.
speed force and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like,
But with this,
all
it's
these,
just like generic time machine goes back to generic moment in time.
Yeah, like when you got
with
Back
characters
to the
who look
Future,
like they're with characters who look like they're the sample photos in a Walmart picture frame. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I definitely saw that. You know, with Flash, you have him running and it opens up like the portal, which is all very visually cool, you know. And the same with the DeLorean and Back to the Future. And this was just kind of get into this ball and it's gone, you know.
Yeah,
so
I did like how it kind of looked like an eye.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know,
had some spinny stuff on it. So
side note, maybe we'll talk about time machines real quick. This is gonna be an all over the place episode, a wibbly wobbly episode, some might say. I actually think that Time Machine and Timeless has some basis in fact, because theoretically, if you were to
technical here,
I
can already tell this is
science.
We're going deep.
Some people have said that if you were to put like a monorail that went around the entire Earth, and it had like a magnet, like an insanely powerful magnet on one end and an insanely powerful magnet on the other end of the Earth.
Yeah.
And then you alternated those magnets and made it go like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth really fast.
Okay, yeah.
Then it could time travel to the future or something. And the people on board wouldn't feel a thing or whatever, you know. So I think
they wouldn't feel a thing. They wouldn't feel anything.
Right. Not
nothing.
Even the speed of
chilling, you know?
Nothing. But yeah, I think that the time machine in this Timeless show kind of has some basis in fact, because they've got these rings around it that rotate super fast. And I think that may at least vaguely kind of connect to that theory, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, speed is a big thing when it comes to time travel. Like that's not just the Flash. Like
Superman.
That's why 88 miles per hour is the whole Back to the Future thing. The idea of speed creating time travel, even though
then,
you would
88
definitely
miles per hour
have to
was
go
super fast.
faster than 88 miles per hour. Yeah. You'd have to go speed of light or whatever. You know, so
dude, I go 88 miles per hour on a regular basis, you know.
That's
you
just
do. Normal for me.
You do.
Everyday commute, you know. No,
but yeah, like
definitely.
the Flash really isn't wrong when it comes to that. Speed is pretty much the key to time travel, at least to the future. And scientists
Hence why there's time travel in Flash, you know.
Well, exactly.
Because
scientists
they do have speed.
Scientists believe that we could travel to the future using like that same kind of theory as the monorail thing, but that we could not travel to the past because I don't know, because apparently like the idea that you could create a paradox and like killing your grandfather or whatever just means you couldn't go there in the first place, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just something I've read somewhere and it's probably wrong.
I've read something on the internet, you know.
Yeah.
I read it on the internet.
So,
it's got to be right.
Speaking of The Flash, it was pretty good this week too, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
We got Flashpoint, you know.
Yeah.
Very anticipated, and it was. I like what they did with it, you know.
Yeah. I like that it was a self-contained episode, you know, that they didn't drag it out too much.
Oh, it could have been dragged out so much, you know. After watching it and thinking about it, I was like, yeah, I'm glad they kept it to one episode because you know if that went two, there's only so much you can do with it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it would just be old. You know, he's fighting metahumans every day. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just like what they did with it. You know, very short, concise. So it was really good.
So at the end of that, spoilers for The Flash, by the way. Just small spoiler. Not really small. Actually pretty big.
Small?
At the end of the episode.
Just whole season changing. You know, it's not that big.
Barry decides that he needs to... So he's created this whole Flashpoint universe, right?
Uh-huh.
And he decides, okay, I need to change back to the normal world.
He takes
Zoom,
people.
Or takes Reverse Flash back and lets him kill his mother to fix the timeline. And that was a pretty... Like, there was a lot of gravity in that, and I loved that Zoom was like, or Reverse Flash was like, say it, you need me to kill your mother. But, yeah, so when he gets back, turns out the timeline is mostly fixed, but his relationship with Iris is gone because you can never give Barry what he wants, or else the season would be over, so, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Brings up the tension a little, you know, but it all worked out, you know. And the Reverse Flash is still hanging out, you know? I love him. You know, he's great.
I'm the Eobard actor is growing on me a little bit, I guess.
Yes, he's good. I liked him.
I mean,
thought he did
obviously,
really good.
Tom
Yeah.
Cavanaugh is infinitely better, but
Definitely.
you know, yeah.
He
Wells is honestly the best actor in that series, and
yes.
I went back and rewatched my favorite episode of The Flash, like of the whole series. My favorite episode is the episode called Flashback, where he goes back to season 1 to ask Wells, who's actually Reverse Flash, how to get faster, and then Wells figures out he's from the future.
Fantastic.
That was the best episode. And then he tells Cisco and Caitlin, all right, I'm going back to my year. You have a year to figure out how to stop the time wraith and whatever. Ah, so good, so good.
Fantastic.
You know, but so this week we were going to talk about time travel theories, kind of. You know,
I guess
the best
maybe.
we can. I guess.
I don't know.
Will it just be me ranting? Who's to say?
Probably.
And I've written down some theories here, I suppose, and also kind of the movies that correspond with them.
Yeah.
So
different kinds of time travel, right? You know?
Yeah, and then there's also a lot of kind of mistakes in movies and different inconsistencies that I would go over as well.
But it's time travel, so it all fixes itself.
Well, exactly. That's what's so smart about Doctor Who, which I haven't watched a ton of, but Doctor Who, when they first kind of started out, they were like, look, when it comes down to it, nothing makes sense in time travel, so we can just do whatever we want.
So we're right, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing makes... That's pretty good.
But,
I'm surprised you haven't watched Doctor Who.
I am surprised too.
It's very heavily time travel.
It's just a little geeky for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on, man.
Like,
get into it.
As
Get
a
with
geek,
the program
like
here.
it's kind of geeky. You know, weird. Oh, I don't know. I need to.
We should start watching
it,
Doctor Who.
We should
start watching.
I've got too many other things to watch. Daredevil.
Do it.
Legends of Tomorrow. Daredevil.
Oh,
Did I tell you I
talk
finished
about
Jessica
that.
Jones this week? Not on air. I didn't tell you that.
We talked about
I
that
guess.
last week.
Best series I've ever watched. Can't get into that right now though.
Yep, we cannot.
All right, so the first theory of time travel that I was going to talk about was the loop theory. Okay.
Okay.
And the loop theory is essentially that everything that you change has already happened and will happen. Meaning, and there's a phrase for this. It was, I forget what this was in, but someone's going back to the past, and this is a world that has the loop theory of time travel. Yeah. And so they go back, and the guy says, look, whatever happens here already happened, right? Like from our future, so we're not changing anything. So certain movies that include that would be like Prisoner of Azkaban, and Terminator, in that, like, Harry and Hermione go back to change things, but they end up causing the things that happened in the first place. Yeah. You know? And so it's all just a loop, and it was destined to happen, right? And in Terminator, Kyle Reese goes back. He's sent back by John Connor, the leader of the Resistance, and then he ends up, having a bit of a night with Sarah Connor and making John Connor, right? So it's a loop, a kind of paradoxical kind of destiny thing.
So in a way, it's the most harmless time travel. Would you say that?
Yes, that is what I would say. I do. I like it in that sense, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And in the later Terminator movies, they kind of make it inconsistent. They make it in the second one that you can change things and whatever, so that makes no sense. But yeah, time travel never makes any sense.
Exactly. It's
what
time
do you
travel,
think
man.
of? Like, do you understand? Do you think the Prisoner of Azkaban time travel makes sense? I know my family is always like, "What? That didn't make any sense. How? Harry casts the Patronus that saves himself. How?"
In my mind, it does. I don't know if I'd be able to explain it to someone else.
Right.
But it makes complete sense to me how they go back and there's and they're creating everything that's happening in the past. You know, like when Hermione throws a rock and when they
and the idea is that that you know you the things that you're seeing happen. Yeah. With you from the future interfering. Yeah. Time knew that was going to happen already, right? And so it already put it in, You know, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the loop theory. And this is
Cool
also
theory.
you go.
No, I don't have anything to say. Just
Well,
say it's
fine.
cool, man.
God.
It's cool. It's probably if I time traveled, it's probably the one I would want to do. You know.
Probably.
Yeah,
Because you can't change anything.
If there was a list of buttons, I'd hit the loop button. You know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Let's go loop.
Because
Yeah,
I
it's
guess you don't, like, you would just get to observe, I guess, is the benefit. Although, like,
throw some rocks, you know, do a little bit of this and that.
it really doesn't explain if you saw yourself casting a Patronus, right, and Harry knew that was himself, if he knew it was himself, and then he went back, what if he just said, I'm not going to cast that Patronus?
Exactly,
You know?
exactly.
But the idea is that he did, and time knew he did, and so it happened, right?
It was
so
fate.
it just kind
It was a
of
miracle.
works that way. Yeah. And if
Very
he
nice.
if he'd chosen not to, it wouldn't have
been
happened.
dead.
So yeah. But one other movie that has a little bit of the loop theory in it, but it really isn't mainly that, is Back to the Future. Back to the Future is really inconsistent with its with its time travel theories, because, like, and it's a fantastic movie, I think, because, you know, the story outweighs the inconsistencies with the time travel. But in, you know, he's playing Johnny Be Good at the high school, and we find out that the main player of the band holds up the phone and he calls the guy who ends up writing Johnny Be Good, and he says, listen to this, as if Marty inspired Johnny Be Good to be made, right? Yeah. Which is the loop theory, even though most of the other movie isn't. And then the same thing happens with we see Mayor Goldie Wilson is the mayor in Hill Valley in the 80s. And then Barry's in the Barry, what? Marty is in the 50s, and he inspires the guy to become mayor. So that's the loop theory. But most of Back to the Future is the kind of grandfather paradox theory, which is the idea that you can change things.
Okay.
So should we get into that? Should we?
Let's do it. You got a little segue going there, you know?
Yeah.
Just roll right in. The grandfather theory or whatever.
The grandfather paradox or the overriding timeline theory. I've named all these, by the way, myself.
Such a genius. Such a geek you are.
I guess I'll call it the overriding time travel theory. The grandfather paradox essentially means it's the idea of if you go back in time and you kill your grandfather, does that make you cease to exist? But if you cease to exist, then you didn't go back in time and kill your grandfather. So you would exist, but, you know, so it's a paradox. It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
But, so in Back to the Future, it says, if you mess with time, you could not exist, you know?
Sure.
And essentially what most time travel things do is this is what I'm kind of trying to get at. I'm really doing a poor job here. Is the overriding time travel theory, which is essentially that, like, you can go back in time, and whatever you change will create a new timeline that overwrites the previous one. You know, you're writing a new history.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Okay. Like an alternate timeline? Is that what you're going at?
Like what?
An alternate timeline, you know? Is that what you're...
Sort of.
Where you're going at?
The idea is that you would just be writing over the previous, what the world is, and there's only one timeline.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, I see.
But here's the thing that I think is scary, is what you just said, the alternate universe creation theory. I named that.
Yeah.
Very is the idea that whenever you change things, you're creating an alternate timeline that you're going into. And that means you're leaving the previous timeline.
Yeah,
which
so
means
that's like the Flash, right?
Well, sort of. Here's what would be scary if that was if the Flash was that way, that would mean that, like, when he went and stopped the tidal wave, right?
Yeah.
And then he went back in time and he created a new timeline.
To the day before. Yeah.
Right. If that was how if he's doing the overwriting thing, it just overwrites the whole timeline with the tidal wave, and that's gone, and a whole new chain of events has occurred.
Yeah.
But if you're doing alternate universes, he's gone into a different universe. He's created a new universe by changing things, and he's left the previous one alone to be crushed by a tidal wave.
No. Dude,
that would be like the ultimate fear. That could be a huge twist in The Flash. Wouldn't that be amazing? Would be if turns out every time he's changed history, he's left a previous timeline without the Flash.
Oh god.
That'd be insane, right?
That would be.
Wow. But most people would say it's just there's one timeline and it's just changing. The one timeline is changing, and you're just
going
always
back
in
and
it.
forth.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting.
But so, yeah.
If this makes any sense to you guys, just let us know.
If it does, I think it sort of makes sense.
Well, that's what you hope.
Something that did similarly do that is Star Trek that did use that. In the first Star Trek, Spock leaves his timeline and ends up in an alternate version, right? And they're without Spock now.
I see.
At least as far as I remember, And this new timeline where Kirk's dad was killed is this kind of new world, and Spock has ended up in there. What I mean?
Yeah.
Old Spock, not young one. So, yeah.
Cool.
So should we talk about some methods of time travel?
I guess. Why not?
What are some methods of time travel, Hitchcock? What are some methods?
Methods? You mean how people get there?
I suppose. Or
So we got the DeLorean, right?
Yeah.
We're going out and go 88 miles per hour. We kind of glanced over this, didn't we?
Right.
Yeah.
There's the idea that you can go back in time and there would be two of you, theoretically.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So, Marty could go back to when he was a baby and meet his baby self.
Yeah.
But there's also the idea that you go back in time to your younger body.
Yeah.
Like in X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing that the Flash does that's really odd is the Flash, again, is another show where the story's great, but the time travel theories are really mixed up.
When it comes down to it, it's just
when it comes down to it.
What is going on?
Whenever Barry goes back in time, when he goes back in time to save Central City from that tidal wave, he goes back to his previous body. He goes back into his body from the previous day, and he relives that day.
Exactly. But then other times he just goes back and he's a double, like when he goes back to his mother's death.
So, theoretically, if they were keeping with it, if he went back to his mother's death, he would be in his kid body again. So that doesn't make sense if they're doing both those things.
Stuff is.
But when he goes back and to the previous day and relives it, that's kind of like Edge of Tomorrow or Groundhog Day, right?
Okay.
Where he's reset, but
with
he's still got
with
the
his
memories.
Own knowledge. Yeah,
right. Exactly. Yeah.
So, interesting. Yeah. So when you think about it, the Flash their timeline is very wacky.
Oh yeah.
How they do the time travel. I guess I really.
And then they've got all that other weird stuff that I kind of am confused by.
Even you, the professional.
Even I, the professional time traveler, I get confused by the time remnant stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And remember how Reverse Flash came back from a different time and stuff that one time, and they had to send him back to his own time. Yeah. That's the thing about. Remember when Eddie shot himself to save Barry
good
and
old
stuff,
Eddie.
and Professor Wells, yes, Reverse Flash, was erased from existence. But if he was erased from existence, that would mean that Barry's mom wasn't murdered, and none of this stuff happened.
Yeah.
So what's odd is that they basically say, all right, he was erased from existence from that point onward. Okay. So all the stuff he did still happened, but now he's erased from existence. Which makes zero sense, but whatever.
I was gonna say.
So, yeah. Hey, remember that one time on The Flash, they were like, if you mess with time, a time wraith will come after you?
Yeah.
And that never happened again, did it?
No, that was odd. Yeah, seriously, when he screwed it up, like during Flashpoint, like that was a major thing he did.
It was a huge thing, yeah.
Like what the heck? Why the time race all
Why
over
are
him?
they coming after him? Yeah.
Maybe they will. Hopefully. I don't know. This whole time travel thing, it's just like, yeah, there's just so many ways it can go.
There is, yeah.
You can't really bottle up and explain it in one thing, you know?
Yeah.
So,
what's odd? Have you ever thought, like, in every time, one thing that's common in almost every time travel movie in Hollywood is you can never meet your previous self. That's impossible, and that will wreck the space-time continuum or whatever. I just bumped my table. That wrecked the space-time continuum.
Oh no.
But that's, like in Prisoner of Azkaban, they say you don't want to run into your younger self.
Yeah.
And in all these other things, they say that, but I never really explain why.
Yeah, good point.
Like,
well, I guess my first thought when you say you can't meet your younger self is just that
Professor X did it that one time, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he's Professor X, mate.
Yes, his mind can't get wrecked.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you, just screw with your brain, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if I saw another me, I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
See,
like,
that's
then, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'd go mental. I think
maybe
and just
the thing that they're
insane.
saying that would wreck you is that if you saw your younger self or saw yourself from like the previous day even,
yeah,
and you ran into yourself. Then you would need to have memories of meeting yourself from the future, from the previous day, right? You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
So like if you went back and you like stabbed your younger self in the leg.
Oh my god.
Then future you would need to have a stab mark in the leg, you know?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Is that just gonna pop up out of nowhere? You
right
know,
as he stabs his younger self, he's like, "Oh my god!"
So
they're both on the ground bleeding.
Yeah, that's I guess the reason people say don't do it is just that it wouldn't really make sense.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's too complicated for whoever's doing it to try to figure it out. So that's why they say don't do it.
And one thing that's like common, what I was trying to say is that one thing that's common throughout time travel is that, like, the memories of the time travelers of their timeline stay intact, right? Okay. So like the people in Timeless, whatever their names were, since they were unmemorable, they went back and they changed the Hindenburg, right?
Yeah, and
they changed that whole crash. So that history was completely different, but they still have the memories of the other history, you know, of the normal one before they changed it. So some theories would say that your memory should be replaced also, you know.
Okay.
That if you alter the timeline, your memory should be replaced, which I think what was happening with Barry in this Flashpoint episode, which I actually really admired. Oftentimes, no time travel shows do that. They just have the characters have the same memories forever or whatever, the previous timeline. But in Flashpoint, they did that where they said, yeah, if Barry changes history, then now he should have different memories of history. And so his memories are slowly going away.
Exactly. Which almost makes it seem like when I think about that, I think he's gone back to that same timeline he was on, you know, and he's just like, as he's going, like, he time traveled and it set like a thin layer on top of the timeline that he's already been living on his whole life, you know? And the longer that goes on, the more that just gets thicker and
that's what Reverse Flash said, didn't he? He said it cements or whatever.
Yeah, which makes all those past times non-existent, which in turn wipes his memory.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think that was so cool that they did that, you know. And also
it was smart of them to do a gradual shift. Back to the Future does the same thing, where like Barry, I keep calling Marty Barry. Why am I doing that?
What even?
Marty, when he bumped into his father, right, and interfered with his parents' marriage, some time travel theories would say he should just vanish right then and there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead, in Back to the Future, it's a gradual thing where Doc goes,
well, he's looking
look
at
at the
picture,
Polaroid
right?
photo. Your sister is
Yeah,
disappearing, and then
exactly.
your brother's going to disappear, and then you're going to disappear.
Yeah.
Conveniently.
You're the last one.
You're the last one, conveniently. And it's a gradual thing, right? Like with his hand with the guitar, it slowly starts to vanish or whatever. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
cool,
what.
though.
That's
Very
yeah.
nice. Time travel. It's
it's
as confusing as heck.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna go to time travel some websites and see if there's anything else we've missed.
Timetravel.org.
Can you think of any time travel movies we've kind of skipped
movies.
over?
Well, there's of course the one that you love, Meet the Robertsons, right?
Oh yes, that's a great movie.
You love that one.
Quite good.
It's got some good time travel in it. Of course, Edge of Tomorrow we both love. Which that is just rewriting the day, which is very very cool.
Just overwrites the previous day.
Yeah.
Unless he's leaving behind a timeline where he died, right?
And he's just making
the ultimate terror. That would be terrible, wouldn't it? Would be like Rita to go, all right, I'll kill you, and then I'll be in a new timeline. And then she kills him, and she's still there, but he's dead.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, great. That would suck.
Oh, that would be. It's like you almost think of it of him going down a ladder, Like he's on one timeline, then he steps down, and now he's on another one. And that one's still going on.
Yeah.
Oh, time travel, man. It messes with your brain.
Really does.
Let's ask this. If we humans in the present day somehow figured a way to time travel, would you do it?
No.
No?
You
No?
would wreck
Not at
too
all?
much. And it would be too inconsiderate of other people.
But let's say that people are going back anyway, So you just get to hop along for the ride if you want.
Look,
so
if
either way, you're kind of screwed.
If I knew that it has a loop, right, that I can't mess anything up.
Yeah.
Or if I can just observe, which some theories say you could just observe, or even that if you killed Hitler, right?
Yeah.
Then something else would happen that, or it would turn out that your attempt would always fail, right?
Mm-hmm.
That even no matter what you do, time is always gonna stay, and you can't change it. If that were true, I'd be totally cool.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, but I would never go back if I knew stuff could change. Now the future, on the other hand, sure, whatever. I would totally go to the future because you're not.
Who cares
anything.
if we screw them up?
Yeah.
Doesn't affect me, Yeah.
Although theoretically here.
Oh, here we go.
If you're changing stuff in the future, that is still someone's past that you're changing.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever thought about that? Like,
I have.
Demonstration. The future's always changing. So, like, if I were right now to say, I'm gonna kill Donald Trump, like that's my goal. Like I am dead set, and I'm gonna do it. I am going to kill Donald Trump. That's my goal, right? If I were to say that, and I really was gonna do it, the future, as of this moment right now, is that I kill Donald Trump. But right now, as of now, I'm saying, oh no, I'm not gonna kill Donald Trump. I'm changing my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Now the future isn't that I kill Donald Trump. So the idea is that like it's always in flux, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Based on every decision people are making,
Exactly.
And that is one thing that people say is like, if you go to the future, you're going to the future of that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, if I'm going to the future, I'm, going to the future based on, I don't know how to, does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I'm going to the future of that moment.
Somewhat.
But then, things could change after I come back, and then the future would be different,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could go to the future, screw up someone's past, and that future timeline would be screwed up, right?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
It's part of it.
It's all mumbo jumbo. It's all very confusing.
I don't know what this episode even is. One last thing, okay?
Yeah.
One last thing. One thing that I was just thinking about is, so people go to their future, or like in Back to the Future, like they go to their future and Marty sees himself he sees his future self.
Yeah.
But theoretically, that doesn't make sense because if you're going to the future, then that means that the past that you've left behind is without a you. So you should go to the future and people should be like, oh, yeah, he mysteriously vanished in a DeLorean 50 years ago. That's what that future should be like.
You know what? This is time travel. It doesn't make sense. Period.
It really is.
So the fact that happened is just kind of like, who cares?
It's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey sort of thing.
There you go. That's very confusing, but very interesting. You could be
this
living
episode to be not just me rambling over you, but I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I predicted that.
Yeah, you did. Maybe you are a time traveler. Or
Isn't it weird?
You just have common sense.
We could be living in a past that someone from the future has affected.
Mm-hmm.
Like if 50 years from now we learn how to time travel, okay, and that 50 years has already happened, and those people have come back past our time, changed something, and now we're living on that change.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Like let's say before that change happened, let's just say the Hindenburg never crashed, but someone from the future 50 years into the future from now.
Right. And now that's the timeline that we know.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, well, if we did in the future learn how to time travel.
Yeah.
And someone went back and we're now living on that alternate timeline kind of thing,
Right. That is one thing that people say is that, well, clearly we'll never learn to time travel to the past because if we did, we would already be seeing people who learned how to do it come here,
True.
Like if we at any point in the future learned to time travel to the past, we'd probably come here at some point and we would have seen someone come back already. So that means, or maybe they just thought our year was unimportant. Maybe they just
maybe that's how we maybe in 50 years that's how we learn how to time travel because 50 years after that 50 years someone went back and taught those people how to time travel.
That'd be an infinite loop, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Yeah. That's one of those things is like in Legend of Zelda, again, loop.
Yeah.
Link or whatever the dude's name is. I don't remember what the main character in Zelda's name is.
The little kid with the boomerangs.
Is his name Link?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just going to call him Link. He goes back, or he goes to the future, and he learns a song from someone in the future, right? He learns this song to play on his flute. But then he goes back to the past, and he teaches that person who taught him how to play it for the first time.
Very nice.
Loop. So,
cray.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's pretty crazy. That's our time travel episode, guys. Was it even worth anything?
I don't know.
You know what? If you like this sort of thing, I think you might get into it, Yeah. I would. If I were not hosting it, I would listen to this.
Sounds like someone's wishing someone would do a time travel episode for them.
Yeah. So,
pretty good.
Speaking of time travel, Doctor Strange, looks like that might get some time travel.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even get
to that, did we?
Jeez, yeah. Well, basically, there was a TV spot, right?
Yeah.
And it was in reverse.
Yeah.
And they just kept saying time over and over again.
Right,
know?
And then we see him use his necklace, which we know is an infinity stone, to stop time and, rewind it.
Which is really cool, because last week we had talked about what is that gem,
Yeah.
We had mentioned, is it the time or is it the other one, you know?
So it's clear that it's the time stone now, based on what he did with it.
It's gotta be, man.
Even though last week we were like, it has to be the soul gem. But,
oh, good point.
I think what they're doing is quite wise, because it looks as if he's using the gem to reverse time and to rewind it rather than move all through it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's not like he's going back to his past. He's just rewinding to another point. So like Barry does with the tidal wave, right? Just going back to the previous day.
Exactly.
And living it again, Or,
which I think is a much more simpler way,
it is a lot simpler, and it makes for
easier,
less confusion with people going, why didn't they just stop Ultron by time traveling back to do that? Because if it's like short term like that,
Yeah,
kind of like
maybe
the
you can
time
only
turners.
rewind a certain amount. And,
Right, exactly.
And again, if you think about it, if
It
you
even looks like maybe just moments in time he's rewinding, you know?
Yeah, if you rewind, like the more you rewind, the older you get.
Yeah.
You know? So
true.
if like every hour you rewind to an hour ago,
I read
you
something
just
about
slowly get older, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And so you can't really rewind a whole lot, you know?
It's true. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Theoretically,
I think
time turner users would age faster to the people around them because they're going back constantly and living like multiple times of 1 minute. Like, you know.
Exactly. So you're aging as you are reliving that time period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. So, like, I guess to make viewers make sense of this, if you were to time travel back to the beginning of 2016, like 30 times, and live through 2016 30 times,
you'd be 30
you'd be 30, right? You'd be 30 years older. But to everyone else, you've only lived through that once, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that hopefully makes sense.
Nice. So
that's our time travel episode.
Yeah.
Well done. Lord.
Pretty good.
There you go. Pick of the week, Hitchcock. Pick of the week. Got anything you watched this week?
I have like maybe 1.5.
Yeah.
Last week I mentioned Batman Under the Red Hood.
You did, didn't you? Oh yeah. So
but
you watched it this week.
I hadn't watched it before. You know, and so I was just saying I was gonna watch it, and I went that night and I watched it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, it was great. Everything about it. The whole Robin backstory, the Joker I loved. Batman, of course. The character Batman in this animated stuff is just fantastic. He's a perfect Batman. So yeah, it was really, really good. And then I got one more. The next one I watched was Saturday morning. I watched Bridge to Terabithia, which I hadn't seen in ages. I maybe saw it when it first came out, and I walked in and out of it. Yeah. And I went back and I was like, yeah, I remember this happens and this happens. And so I decided to go watch it, and man, it's really good, but it's really sad.
It is pretty great. Josh Hutcherson is great.
He is.
It's just a well-made movie.
Is the girl name? Yeah.
She's real good
in it.
Yeah.
Real good. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Zooey Deschanel is great. Yeah. I love how they capture his kind of relationship with that teacher, you know.
Yeah. It's good.
With the music teacher, because oftentimes student and teacher do form kind of a close bond like that. And they really kind of capture that chemistry really well. Yeah.
Definitely. Go give that a watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good one.
It's quite good. And it's sad. It's quite sad.
It is.
You said you were depressed all day.
It'll make a grown man cry.
I didn't know you were a grown man, Hitchcock.
Oh, no.
What did I watch this week?
Yeah, what did you watch? Let's see.
Well, I really haven't watched a lot. I rewatched The Shallows because
I
got that on Blu-ray. It's all right. I don't know why I spent money for it on Blu-ray, honestly. I finished Jessica Jones this week. I had last week I'd watched 5 episodes of it. This week I finished it.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, oh my lord, that is the best show I've ever watched. No joke.
Is it?
Like, maybe better than Stranger Things. I don't know. Like.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing, and the villain is great. Kilgrave, played by David Tennant, is quite possibly my favorite villain of all time. Like, I literally can't think of anyone I've liked better than him. He's charismatic. He's terrifying. He's got motivation. He's powerful. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Jessica is a fantastic character, and it's really just a really good psychological kind of study of the mentality of a hero who doesn't believe she's a hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. I freaking loved it, and now I'm probably gonna go watch Daredevil soon. So
very nice. Yeah, I'm hoping to watch Daredevil soon. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's the one I want to watch. But
yeah.
Very nice, Jessica Jones. There you go.
All right, so that was our episode.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Tie it off.
Next week,
send it to the iTunes.
You know, we've said we were gonna do a collab with Chance again soon, and also with Alex again soon.
Yeah.
So maybe next week, who's to say? We might do that episode. We said we'd do like an episode on film criticism with Chance.
Yeah.
So that could be cool. Yeah, I guess that's
stuff.
what we'll do. Yeah. All right.
Very
Where can
nice.
people find us on the Instagrams and the Twitters and all that?
The socials.
Yeah.
I'm at nerd_stream7 on Instagram and Twitter.
And I'm at BlockbustedPod on Twitter and at Houston Productions1 on Instagram. I use my Twitter more. Go follow that. Yeah.
Yeah, very
I
nice.
retweet a lot of anti-Trump stuff if you like that sort of thing.
He does. Be offended. Go offend.
Do it. Maybe assist me in some anti-BVS rants. Maybe help me out with that. Yeah.
That'll be good.
All right.
Nice.
Well, we'll see you guys in the next episode, eh? Yeah.
We will. Will indeed.
All right.
Goodbye,
bye, guys.
of Earth.
Was that a time travel sound?
That was a time travel.
That was a time travel sound.
Time travel to the
Okay.
past. I'm reliving this episode.
All right. Bye, guys. 88 miles per hour.